You're in charge of your own decisions. I always go into every session of my intention is this is for your highest and greatest good and the good of all. And I'm going to receive what you most need to know right now and for your short-term future. Take what fits, take what makes you either feel good or inspired, or yeah, I could really work with this. And whatever doesn't, let it go. In the guided meditation, you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open. And either now or whenever you feel called, you can tell me if you have a question or area that you'd like us to look into. Do you have an area that you want me to look into, or you're open to whatever?
I'm really open, but I think right now there's a, and I'm not going to say the word stuck because I hate the word stuck and I don't believe any of us are actually stuck.
Yes.
But when it comes to career paths, I am wavering back and forth between where I should go, what I should do. When the real message for me is always just be, but if that makes sense. So I get really excited about things very easily. I catch the energy of it and I just ride it. But then along the way, I realize I got caught in the excitement of the energy of it, and it's not necessarily for me, or the excitement of what other people see for me. Again, it's not necessarily me, but I get caught up in the excitement, in the energy. So I'm really trying to slow down and allow answers to come through me. And they're not coming right now.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you 2 images right now to start with, and then I'll see what else comes about. And there are 2 that are similar expressions of how energy can happen, but you pick if one or another speaks to you more.
Okay.
Just immediately when you're talking, first I get this sense of the creative fire within you is like this bonfire. And then when you talk about the things that excite you, it's almost like if there was a trail of gasoline, the fire shoots down that. But then there's like 4 trails and it's like, and then you reach the end of the gasoline, the fuel's out, fizzles. And so then it's like you're back to the main bonfire. So that's one. But if the idea of fire and extinguishing doesn't fit, I don't know if you know much about strawberries, but the way in which they grow is, so there's the main strawberry plant, but then they put out runners, which is like a little vine, and then a little baby strawberry plant off of that. So then they keep on.
No, girl, you got me at fire. I am all about the elements. You so got me at fire. I was like, full body chills, hairs, like they're yes. Fire. Yes. I burn really passionately, really expressively, and really 150% all in with whatever I'm doing. But I fizzle out often because it's either a calling that was momentarily mine, or it was a calling from someone else asking me to step into this experience. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
People, you should do this. Oh my God, you would be so good at this. Oh my God, you need to do this. And I just don't have it's not passion. I don't have the calling to be the next Gabby Bernstein. Sorry. I know that I touch people with my words. I touch people with my energy. I know that people come to me to hear what I have to say and they want me to speak. And I speak on stage and I speak in these places and people love it and I touch people and it's amazing, but it's not what I want. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm much more of a hermit.
Yes.
But then comes the ideal, then how do people find me if I choose to stay a hermit? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Sometimes when I speak, like talking about myself, I feel like I'm not expressing exactly what it is I need. But when I speak to groups of people, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Okay. And sorry, I'm going to pause because I was going to tune in, but what else is on your mind of this that you want to say that maybe you haven't said yet? Like, I feel like there's still one more thing about this situation. Oh, and maybe I'm curious. Sorry, if you're about to talk, I will let you say that. I'm curious, besides being a hermit, what do you want? Like, do you like the impact, but you're like, I want to be a hermit with impact? Or, okay.
Here's the thing. I offer what I call universal energy sessions, and they are a mixture of what some people would call Reiki, as I was trained for that, but I don't align with the lineage of Reiki.
Sure.
But I aligned with shamanism. Have ties of Native American lineage within my blood. So I'm very into Mother Earth. I'm very into creating conscious awareness. So when people come to me, not only are we working with their energy, but I have the ability to read people's souls. All kinds of messages will come through for people, and they're, from what people have told me, they're life altering, they're life changing. But people come to me and it's one at a time. And I love that deep connection of that one at a time. I love that part of what I do, but it's not consistent enough to create a living from.
Right. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Because the spirit guides don't fill the fridge with food.
Exactly. I have an amazing supportive husband that's like, babe, you've got this. You're doing incredibly well for your second year in business, especially because I started in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Right. But the synchronicities of everything and the way that all worked out and how everything just comes to me all the time is absolutely amazing. But it's not consistent enough for it to be a career. And I think that's what is the push-pull. Do I stay where I am, offering what I do, hoping for referrals, or do I go out and do something else?
Yes, I'm just making a few notes here.
I'm not sure if that's the missing link you were at, because I mean, that's really,
yes, that's very helpful.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
I love what I do, but it's not enough to live off of. But I know
yet.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
And that's so funny because I always say that to everyone else.
Yeah.
I always say that, the power of yet. And the fact that I didn't say it myself just shows you that the block, the resistance I have right now of this, whatever.
Well, and I want to honor you because I'm just taking it slow here for a second, because how many people are there who are in a similar position with you, maybe different skills, different whatever, but they're staying in resistance. They're not speaking about it to anyone. They're not doing anything about it. And so, oh yeah, now I'm getting chills. So even though there is this resistance, quote unquote, it's not there forever. And you're talking to me about it. So there's a part of you that's like a resistance, but like, let's get that resistance out of here. Because a truly resistant person would stay not talking to people, not doing anything about it. I just want to say that first. And I also have a sense there's someone listening who might not be aware, oh, when I'm stuck, staying stuck is also not connecting to anyone who maybe can help move this, because we live in a world where all these relationships are essential to us with people and plants and animals and whatnot. And so connecting to something else can help start moving that stuckness from a place of stuck to unstuck. Okay, so I'm going to tune in a little bit more and see. Okay. I'm going to lead us through short guided meditation. I have a feeling it's going to be very short because I'm sure the messages are going to start coming. Like on the backs of stallions, full speed ahead. Again, you can keep your eyes closed or open, whatever makes you most comfortable. And when you're ready, take in a deep breath. The first thing I want to say also is what's the word I want to say? One way to put it would be your dissatisfaction with, I want to be a hermit, but how do the people come to me? I don't want to have to be all out, shaking hands, being on all these stages when my life is more of a different orientation. And I also need income to live. This tension between the this and the that is, in a way, what I believe you will potentially show others of. There is a path that is not the hermit who's only eating bread because that's all they have money for, or the person who's burnt out because they don't really want to be on all the stages or at the networking events or on all the public things. They're really a hermit, but they want to make the money. So that's why they're doing that. So a little bit of what you're doing, whether or not it will be explicit, definitely implicit, you will be shifting and shaping this paradigm of another way of being that truly honors the way in which, for people who are deeply connected to the earth and the spirit world and other things of that nature, that the quote unquote slower pace that seems a little bit anti to the way some other things work and some of the way the money system works is, some of the new technologies are offering ways in which finally in our time and place, we're going to be able to shift so that you can have the type of situation that you believe. That is my sense, and I'm going to look more into it, but my first reading of the situation is that if you shifted what you were doing to go down some other path of, well, this is lucrative and makes money and it kind of uses 25% of my gifts, so why not? It's not going to feel as fulfilling as if you continue doing what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to see what else comes about. And while I'm waiting for the information to come, if you'll take another deep breath, exhale whenever you're ready. And with your next deep breath, one of the things that I sense that's really palpable is, some people would call it self-love, and that is one way to put it. Another way is that you deeply see your value and know your value and have a confidence in that. So I want to speak to that. That's also what makes other people feel very drawn to you as well. So I don't know if self-value is a term, but I'm using it now because that's coming up. And so taking a moment of gratitude of, in addition to all of the other gifts you have, the things that people who don't really care about, are you doing universal energy? Are you talking to my guides? They're coming because they want to have self-value. Not all of them, but a lot of them. There's this, the intangibles of what you have, of how oh, these are my gifts and this is how I'm offering them. And yes, I can help you. That people are radically loving that. And even some of the way in which you work with people, like you were talking before of the being, there's some of it that's not you it's just you being, someone being with you already helps them make shifts, already helps them settle in to some of their own self-value. And so that's a really beautiful thing. So we're going to take another breath and really feel that, see that, have gratitude for this self-value that you have chosen. You didn't have to decide, oh, I'm going to value myself. I'm going to value my gifts. I'm going to value my time and the work that I do and the impact that I have. But you did make that decision, and what a wonderful decision it has been. When you're ready, taking in another deep breath and picturing that it's going all the way down to your toes, and releasing the exhale whenever you're ready. And with your next deep breath, calling in all of the parts of yourself. You do seem very present, but we're just gonna give the invitation that any part of you that feels fragmented or distracted or part of your attention or awareness that's elsewhere, we're calling it in, bringing it in, inviting it all in. And yes, the room can hold it, even though it is a lot of energy. But you're in a good space. It can hold all your focus and your power and your awareness. And releasing all of the things that we're ready to release. First thing I'm feeling is one of the things that you can release is, I know you don't like the word stuck, so we'll call it the resistance. And first off is, I want to thank this resistance. I don't always know that that's a part of this process, but for right now, there's something that this resistance actually offered for you that was not just the resistance, but it's probably what I talked about with the paradigm. Like the resistance. Okay. Okay. The resistance wants a name. It's not exactly like a little gremlin elf kind of creature because it doesn't specifically have a form that resembles humans, but it does want me to tell you that there's a way in which it has a presence that it wants you to give it a name, like someone might name a little elf creature that you have. That yeah, this resistance, it is telling me that it's your buddy, not that it's going to be there to be annoying, but that you having a communication with it is going to be part of your next level of the work that you do. And again, a little bit like I said before, it's not going to be all of the work. It feels like it might just be like 25% of the way in which you speak when you talk about your work, addressing this element of the resistance. And the resistance itself, how do I put this? I feel like for some people, that resistance might be something that they're antagonistic about and fighting with, but it very much feels like the resistance for you has this feeling of companionship or a buddy, of it showed up to have this experience with you so that you can really show others, here's how you can deal with this resistance. You think that it's a wall, that it's a block, but what if it's actually your little gremlin companion? And okay, you don't feed gremlins after midnight, but the rest of the time they're pretty cute. So yeah, I think that's why it's giving me this gremlin thing, and that there's a way in which you work with resistance, kind of like how some people say you can work with fear, and that you don't let fear take the wheel, but it can be, part of the guiding system, or it can be like the guardrails or a reference point. This little gremlin buddy of resistance is really open to, how can you show people what this type of relationship actually could be? Because it's almost like for some people, the resistance might not be a thing that will ever truly go away. It's more like, how do you learn to live with this? I can't speak yet for you whether it will go away or not, but right now it feels like it's a buddy that wants to be with you. I don't know how you feel about social media and all that, but I keep on getting this sense of you on either TikTok or, I do feel like TikTok, if you're not there already, that it would be a great place for you. You and your little gremlin buddy talking about this whole interplay relationship of the resistance. And to me, I just find that when people see you talking about it in the ways that you would share about it, it's going to feel like that little emoji where the mind exploding, what? Paradigm shifting, as I said, because it's not some of the way in which we work with the resistance. If you only just conquer it, plow through it, move around it, you're still working with the paradigm that's maybe the paradigm we're trying to dismantle and shift and change anyway. Like if capitalism isn't really working for a lot of people or the planet, we can't treat the means of addressing the resistance the same way we operate in the capitalist system, because we're still perpetuating the methods that don't work. And so I don't know yet, I'll take a moment to pause, how any of this is landing. And I'm not saying I know what all the communication about this is, because that I feel like will be your own flavor, your own discovering of it. But some of the resistance is not like, how do I get over it? How do I fight with it? But more like, how do I tend to this little creature who is in my care? How does any of that land for you?
That's exactly how I work with resistance with my clients.
Oh, I love it.
I don't look at it as, but it's really funny. It's almost like I'm so channeled that when I work with other people, working with myself the way that I work with other people is extremely challenging.
Yes.
I always know exactly, I always feel exactly what they're feeling. It's like people say I have this gift to I just know. And I can't explain how I know that I know, but I know things.
Yeah.
And people are like, there's no way that you could know that. And I'm like, well, obviously I do, because I told you, and it's only something you know. So I know. But I have a way of speaking with people where they learn, they get it in a different way. They see a different perspective. And I think it's because I understand, and I've completely encompassed and embodied this understanding that life is not happening to us. It's not even happening for us. It's happening as us, through us. Meaning that our energetic frequency and how we show up in each and every moment of each and every day imprints and impacts every experience and every being on the planet, whether we're conscious to it or not. And I'm so conscious of that understanding that it brings tears to my eyes. It's so impactful that we understand our energies. So trying to bring this out into the world in a way that people can grasp it for themselves and learn that they have the power, they have the magic within them, including myself. But here I am talking to you about the same things that I already know, but there's this resistance to stepping into it fully for myself. Like, I know you said that about TikTok. I can't even tell you how many people tell me that I need to be speaking on social media, that I need to get on and do lives. I have a resistance to that because I feel like, one, when I'm put on the spot, I don't know what to say. And two, I'm talking to no one.
Yes.
Does that make sense? It's almost like
a
connection.
I'm
talking into a screen.
Right.
And when I speak, I want to touch people. I want that understanding that I'm actually reaching them. And if you're just talking into a computer screen and you're looking at yourself, I have a hard time imagining that people are even on or listening. Does that?
It does. And I also think,
like I said, when I speak on stage or I speak in workshops or I'm teaching or anything like that, it flows because I understand it's not me. It's just coming.
Well, then can you understand the computer's not you? It's just where the flow is happening, or the phone.
There's no one that I'm actually speaking with. I'm talking like interaction, human to human.
Yes.
Face to face, on a phone, something. But in a computer screen, when you're on whatever it is, Facebook Live, you're not talking to anybody. You're looking at yourself in a computer screen.
Right.
I stumble on my own words because I'm not directly speaking to anyone.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like there's
it does.
disconnect.
And I'm trying to find the input way to help maybe give you a technique that could help you.
There's a total disconnect when I'm trying to speak to a computer.
Well, and let me ask you, do you have a desire to use social media at all? Because maybe you don't.
Well, I do and I don't. I'm definitely a writer.
Uh-huh. Oh.
I write things on social media all the time. And you know, I'm not there for the likes. I'm not there for whatever.
Yeah.
People are going to take what they need and leave the rest.
Yeah.
Do I have a desire? I don't know if I do. There's a lot of resistance around just speaking on social media. That's like a far cry from being a hermit.
Yes. I guess to me, I see that social media allows you to have mostly a hermit life with the outreach that it can offer.
Right.
But there are other ways, but they also might not be so hermit-like.
Right.
And then the other thought, well, there's two things. One, I get this image of what I'm going to call a fire tree, even though that's not an actual thing yet, but it's a metaphor of, I love your fieriness. And if it could have some roots that we picture that are going into the earth, it might shift a little bit of the energy so that it still stays grounded. And you can have a way that the dissemination of the information you have to share gets out. Or you can say, forget social media and all that. I'm going to build an only referral based business. That's how it goes. And I'm all in 100%. And that's the only way I do it. And I still live a hermit life. Like you could actually do that very successfully. Yeah. Which one? What do you think about developing only a referral based business that doesn't require you to post videos and do lives and all of that?
That's basically where I am now. And it's not making me, or it's not creating a consistent enough.
Yes, revenue. So let me ask you, oh, go ahead.
No, I just said it's not creating a consistent stream of income yet.
Yes. So I know your skill set of what you do is excellent. How would you describe your experience of business structure framework, the businessy part of the business?
Well, I owned a restaurant for 15 years. So I'm a recovering pastry chef.
Oh, I love it.
And my husband is a master chef. So when it comes to business, I'm really good at business. However, when it comes to marketing myself, I can market anybody else. And I hear this from other people all the time. When it comes to marketing other people, phenomenal. But to sit here and toot my own horn is a little bit more difficult for me. I do have beautiful clients that come and see me on the regular. Again, it's just not enough to consistently.
Right.
So business-wise, I'm good, but I also believe in organic. I'm not into all the because I believe that holistic businesses are very different than other businesses. And for me, I'm speaking for myself. I don't feel comfortable or aligned with all of the sales funnels and the trying to get things. I don't believe, I believe that when you try to get it, I mean, that's resistance, right?
Yes.
What you're trying to get is going to actually be evasive because it doesn't want to be gotten. If you're forcing it, it's not going to come.
Yes.
So I want to be taking consistent action towards my goals. But on the other hand, I don't want to try to force it by looking for clients.
Yes.
Does that make sense? It's like trying to find the balance in the universal laws of how to create a holistic business without trying. It's very, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I have a teaching on this. It's not on line yet, but I do it with my one-on-one clients and when I do presentations about this whole balance that you say with universal laws. So is there any one consistent action that is in alignment with your values and perspective and beliefs, and that also creates a situation that clients come to you?
Is there one thing? Well, I mean, people come to me, and probably the biggest thing people come to me for,
it's the consistent action that you have done in business. Yes.
I think the consistent action is just showing up as me. What you
get
just in my life.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing. What you see is what you get personally and professionally.
Yes.
There are many people I know that they turn on a switch when they're in business, and there's somebody completely outside of that in their personal life. Who I am in my personal life is who I am in my business.
Right.
And that is my consistent being, is what you see is what you get always.
Right. I understand.
Different people.
Yes, I understand. And so if you want to be a hermit and your only consistent action is just being who you are, perhaps you're not meeting enough people.
Exactly.
Yes. So what if there's another consistent action that you do feel aligned with? To the writing, I don't know if you do email to people, to your clients, but do you regularly email?
Yes. I have a weekly newsletter called My Weekly Wisdom. I mean, it gets out to the same people, but again, it's not like driving traffic to my website. It's not, but I have other things. I make animal wisdom candles and astrology candles that actually have digital oracle cards that I created and have a deeper reading from my ancestors with those. And those in stores all over Connecticut. So
lovely.
And it's fun and I enjoy doing it, but it's not a full-time, I'm dropping everything and making candles.
Yeah, I'm going to tune in and see. Okay. So a thing that I'm picking up on that in a way I feel like I've heard you a little bit speak to is, if you want to continue with the way that you are doing it in one way or another, there needs to be other people, like a team who's working for you. It could be a marketer. It could be like a psychic and coach like myself. It could be a few things, but in order to maintain your current way of being and showing up and the way that you want to do it and have the results that you want, you're going to need more people that are in your inner circle of support, or to change what you're doing. Because as a pastry chef and restaurant owner, I seriously doubt you're the only one running the whole thing. Like, you had a dishwasher and a food runner or whatever, someone working the register, somebody who created the ads, all of that. I know that you're very capable of doing things yourself, and it may be time to bring on other people if you choose to maintain your own way of being, which if it grows bigger anyway, that actually makes sense. People always talk about in business, well, hire somebody else. If you don't like washing dishes, hire a dishwasher.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, that's what I find. If you want to keep it the way it is and not modify, again, you could choose, I'm going to create a referral system that's calculated, not in a manipulative way, but in a very like, this is how people work and it's ethical and aligned kind of way. Because I'm also very ethical in the way I do things. I don't want people to feel like I tricked them into working with me or manipulated them through too many whatevers, that they're like in a spell of my creation. So I can relate to all of that. And I think, so there's a few options of what you could choose to do moving forward. And it's probably just a matter of which one lands for you the best. We're almost out of time. I have another client coming on in a moment. So would you be so kind to share for the viewers, evaluate the accuracy or effectiveness, or is there anything that you can take away from this so that they can know, did you find value in this session together?
Absolutely. Anytime you share your thoughts or your ideas with someone else and they are coming from a different perspective, you are able to see things that you couldn't see before. So absolutely, this was very effective. I think I have some choices to make, but you have outlined beautifully the choices that I can make with some assistance. And I think asking for help from other people is probably one of my biggest lessons in this life, which is why I got out of the restaurant business. So the fact that you brought that back up into maybe bringing in a team or maybe bringing in more people, that was like the light bulb of, oh, here's that reminder that this is one of your life lessons that you continuously live. And this is just another reminder that I need to look at that it's okay to accept help, even as a leader.
Yes, exactly. Well, and so, like, yes, exactly.
I mean, that was probably the biggest light bulb out of all of it, was the reminder that even though I am a leader in the holistic community, in my community anyway, and people come to me, it is okay to, take myself off the pedestal that other people put me on. I am not on a pedestal.
Right.
I see myself that way.
Yes.
But people place me up there because of who I am, what I know, and what I do, right? As I'm sure people do with you. They look up to you. So this is just that reminder that, I can take a step down of what other people see me as and ask for help. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
That really is the number one of what I
do. And I know you said you don't necessarily want to be, like a spiritual guru, that all these people have a household name, but those people have teams working for them so that they can be the leaders. And I mean, Eckhart Tolle, is he driving the car, buying the plane tickets, making the Instagram ads I see? No, somebody else is, so he can be the person that emanates the thing and the wisdom that people connect to.
Right. But when you're not there yet, you look at unfortunately, the reality of the scarcity mindset of, well, I'm not there yet to be able to hire the team. And I have to get there before I can, realizing that that's actually backwards. You have to hire the team to then move yourself into the next phase. So yes, boom, that's the answer.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure. I appreciate it. If you want to work with me in the new year, I have room in my schedule. I'd love to be supportive for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And
you're welcome.
Can you send me all of your contact information?
Yes. The tree's here to be an ally to you, a friend, an advisor, a life coach, and that being who inspires you and makes you feel better on a day when maybe things really aren't going for you. If you are feeling the stresses of the world and they're weighing you down, this book, Talk to the Trees, will help you to have some of that calm creep back into your life, some of the wisdom of the trees to infiltrate your mind. This book, Talk to the Trees, will allow you to have the calm seep into your life and infuse your day so that you feel that grounded sense that you feel when you're out in the forest or looking at the trees or on a long vacation when you feel so restored. They can lend their wisdom to you so that you feel more able to make better decisions. Scientific research shows that being in nature makes you feel more clear, makes you feel more creative, increases your emotional intelligence. And yet, you may not have time on your lunch break or first thing in the morning to pop out to the forest or pop out to your backyard. Read 2 pages of Talk to the Trees and incorporate that wisdom back into your life. Incorporate that moment of nature. Incorporate the wonder so that as you're going about your day, you're bringing the best parts of you to your life. And not because you need to bring the best parts of you, but because you enjoy living in this way. Your life was meant to be a joyful, enriching, nourishing experience of the senses, an experience where you feel that excitement, the growing, the learning, and whatever it is that you value that are some of your key values. Those are driving you forward. Those are motivating you. However, the dailiness of life, the mundane, the grind, the hustle, any of these things, they can wear you down over time. As amazing as technology is, it doesn't necessarily feed and nourish your soul. But spending time in the natural world at an energetic level, at a physiological level, at a biological level, it really energizes you. It reduces inflammation. It boosts your immune system. All of those things, it re-engages and reinvigorates you. So give yourself the time today to spend some time in nature, to talk to the trees in whatever way that you do it. And pick up a copy of the book if you haven't already. It's a great gift for a nature lover in your life, or someone who is going through a time in which they could use that love, that care package to make their days a little bit brighter. This is the perfect gift to give them to brighten every day.